quick rundown within the crypto market, and we're going to be talking about Polkadot this morning. We've had positivity, we've had Total 3 banging on the ceiling, we've had Russell 2000 banging on the ceiling. They're the confirmation of alt season, but we have had one thing happen on Polkadot. We've broke through the resistance barrier that we talked about in the previous video. It is now holding that as support, but more importantly, the biggest retail bullish indicator is happening on Polkadot, and it's happening right now. And we talk about what needs to happen in the short term for Polkadot because it is showing strength. And we were talking about this. We were talking about it pulling back into the edge of an apex. We were saying that the bulls or the bears needed to make a move. We'd had a push up here, we'd had a fake out back down, and then we got another push up. And we said that this was the important one here to hold this level, the $4.29, as support. So we're currently holding that as support. That's a tick. If we keep holding that as support, then we've got another barrier to overcome, which is this next resistance point here. So we've got a couple of resistance areas to break through. That is $4.59. However, once we break through the next ceiling, there's going to be little resistance all the way to $5. $5.42 is the next resistance after that. And then things start getting interesting for Polkadot. It is all about who's got sentiment at any given time. And the Polkadot bulls are really showing strength for the first time in a long time. So this is positive. So what we do is we zoom out, we zoom out, we zoom out. Now you can start seeing bigger targets because Polkadot's been in a descending wedge. What is that? A descending wedge. That's a bullish pattern. Once you break to the upside, you break with volatility. And that's exactly what we're waiting for. Ideally, we want that break and close of Russell 2000. We want the break and close of Total 3. That's going to give conviction into the altcoins. That's going to show that risk on is imminent. And that's what we're waiting for, because when risk on is here, then the swings get hard, then the swings get difficult. So the preparation phase, that is the hard phase, and that's the phase that we've been going through together. We've been talking about for such a long time on this channel. So $4.59, that's the area to be in the short term. And then you've got your round psychological number of $5. Why does that matter? Because that was a resistance point here. Expect that to be a resistance point going forward. So that's the $5. The next thing that we need to talk about is this. This is the big daddy, $6.28. Why? Because what we've done is we've gone all the way from Polkadot's bull market high all the way to where price action is now. And out of the whole of the 4 years, this $6.28 is the biggest area of traded volume. So expect something like this to happen. You start pushing up, and remember, when we're bullish, we're putting in higher highs and higher lows. We're smashing on ceilings, we're holding floors as support. So if you look at it like this, here we are now. We're holding this as support. We want to hold that, and then we can bang on the ceiling of $4.59. You might get a resistance, then you could break through, then you can start testing these big levels, as long as you're putting in higher lows. We're expected to be putting in higher lows because sentiment is changing, not just on Polkadot, but other altcoins. And I'm going to bring you more later on today. So that's what we're looking for on Polkadot. We've got strong signs there. We've got strong indications. And that's looking positive. Now, I did promise you the biggest retail indicator. I'll ask you, what is the biggest retail indicator within crypto? It is, of course, the Golden Cross. That brings us to the next thing. The Golden Cross. Let's bring this up now. The Golden Cross is happening. The Golden Cross is happening. The Golden Cross is happening right in front of your eyes right now. Right now. Here. The 200 moving average, the green moving average, is crossed underneath, and the 50 period moving average has crossed up. This is your first indication of Polkadot on YouTube that we've got a golden cross. It is happening right now. It is happening before your eyes. So you know exactly what needs to happen in the short term, what levels need to hold, what the resistance barriers are, and then we can start looking at bigger swings. Let me know in the comments if you found this useful. I will see you guys in the next one.